Well, today's mission is a simple one. I'm trying to find another piece of public property that I can hunt on this archery deer season. I've already tried one spot and it was okay, but I didn't have any success on it. With the temperatures dropping next week, I really need a plan B other than the one piece of land that I found. I've done a bunch of e-scouting and I've determined that through these woods looks like a pretty good spot to set up on some deer. First thing I've got to do is get to hiking. Well, today's mission is really simple in theory, but I think that it's going to be a little bit harder than I expected. And the forest is still super thick, but next week is going to be some major activity. Temperatures are finally going to drop and we're going to get some good deer activity, and I'm going to feel more comfortable about packing out a potential deer if I shoot it. It's just been too warm recently, but I need to get out there more. The weather is going to be more favorable, so I need another spot. The one that I was at just wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. So I came out to this new conservation area and I did a bunch of e-scouting and I got a few spots picked out, but I really didn't expect it to be this lush still. I think that I'm going to have to break a lot of new trail to get up to where I want to, and it's a lot more vertical here, which I was expecting. I kind of wanted that, but this might be a little bit of a difficult hike, trying to break through all this brush. Now right now I'm going to be looking for tracks and droppings obviously to find the deer, but I'm also going to be looking for scrapes and rubs. The deer have already worn off all of the velvet on their antlers, so there should be some fresh rubs. There might even be some scrapes because the rut is coming up here in about 3 weeks. And right now, all of the mature bucks are establishing their pecking order for who is the dominant male. That means there's going to be a little bit of fighting, a little bit of territorial behavior. They're also going to be scoping out where the does are, figure out where they need to focus their attention during the rut. It's also prime acorn season. The acorns are dropping in mass right now. We should be getting some really good acorn drops. And right now, I'm standing in an area that in theory should have a bunch of oaks. So now I just need to go out and find them. Every once in a while I just stop and look around, and right back there is someone's trail camera, and it's a cell cam pointed right at this little drainage right here. My goal coming out here was to follow this drainage up. There's a couple fingers that all join up to a ridge line that I wanted to get on top of, but I'm finding out now that might be pretty difficult to hike up there in the dark. I am seeing that person's trail camera. I'm not seeing any stands, which in this area you are allowed to leave your stands up during the season. So they might be a saddle hunter or something like that where they don't need to leave their stand. I don't think that I walked past any other cameras. I just don't want to mess up that one. I kept walking in a completely opposite direction from where that camera was facing, and on this little tree right here, there's a little pin, this little red pin. I think someone used that to mark where the acorns are, because there's a hole huge pile of acorns right here. Hey there, hold up for a second. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and check out my channel, because there are tons of other videos that I guarantee you will enjoy watching, whether it's fishing, hunting, hiking, camping, or anything else to do with the outdoors. My channel is the place to watch it. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't right now. Click the subscribe button and tune in every Friday for a new video. All right, let's get back to the scouting video. You know, this might be a decent spot. I would hate to come in here when someone already else comes in, and I don't really want to take someone else's spot, even though I'd be coming in on a weekday. But what this is a drainage that comes down between two kind of ridge lines going up, and it washes out that way. And I think what that person was doing is looking at this little wash down towards a pond that the deers probably use for travel to go get some water. And there, I mean, it looks like there's heavy traffic through here. I mean, there's tons of acorns. This path looks pretty well worn for a unmarked sort of trail. I mean, I guess this general area is kind of decent. I just don't know how you'd hunt it. I'm just following up this creek bed as it goes up in elevation to try to get to the top of this ridgeline. And let me tell you what, there are some pretty fat squirrels in here that sound like some huge bucks. It's kind of creepy. Well, I made it to somewhat of a strip that's been clear cut that was not on the map, so it's kind of confusing what this is. But as you can see, that's one finger coming out that way, and then it dips down into this low spot, which is the drainage I was following up, and that's the other ridge line up there. I guess you call them fingers. They're fingers that point out from a ridge line up there, which is where I'm trying to get to. And I mean, it's a solid hike. I don't know how I would get out of here, frankly. So I'm trying to decide what to do. All right, so I got to the top of this ridgeline, which I passed some human sign. I'm walking through all this, you know, pretty open timber. And this right here to me looks like a small scrape. Now, the reason I'm not sure is because there's nothing else around it. I don't know how that works. In my mind, I thought that generally scrapes are kind of next to some limbs for bucks to rub the gland on the front of their face. So now I'm not sure. That's the closest thing to potential deer sign that I've seen, other than where other hunters are setting up. But I don't think the top of this finger is really that good. I don't really think there's a scenario in which it'd be a great idea to be over here. But I am seeing a lot of oak trees, just all around me. So there is that. This is one of the spots I was kind of looking at on the map. Behind me is the top of one of these small mountains, big hills, whatever you want to call it. And down this way where I just came from is a saddle. It's just a low point between two higher points that the deer would travel through, because they're just like us. They're lazy. They want the easiest way to get from point A to point B. And I can't tell at this point if these are more game trails or hunters trails. I have seen a couple logs that got cut with a chainsaw. So I don't know. No more deer sign, and I'm gonna keep going. Except this, I just saw something back where I came from. Well, what do you think? Seems a little low. So I'm not sure, but you know, it might be if other people find this area interesting as well. Maybe other people saw that. Man, bugs are just horrific today. And again, it would be difficult to get out of here from this point. I'm really back in the wilderness now. All right, I'm at the highest point for miles around. Unfortunately, there is a cairn up here. It looks like this is a popular spot for people to come to, even though it's not on the trail map. There's no official trail coming up here, but I did follow a pretty significant path up here, and evidently other people have too. This isn't where I wanted to hunt in the first place. I want to go down there because that's the most significant saddle in the area. It's the thinnest low point between two of the highest points in the entire park. So that's where I want to check out, closer down there. It's just kind of concerning because it's about 2 miles from the parking lot. So that is not ideal, especially primarily, almost entirely because of this heat. All right, this is the lowest point in the saddle. Not seeing anything super obvious in terms of paths across it, but I know it's definitely the place to be. Here's another issue that has come up though. That is someone's tape that they put up on this tree, which I assume means they want to climb it. And it looks out over the entire area, which again, I don't want to sit up on someone's spot. There's tons of acorns right here, like those that are just falling behind me. But you know what? I might just have to do it. Again, I'm not going to be able to climb, so I wouldn't sit right there. I'd find another little spot up here that looks out over this trail in this saddle. But it's letting me know that other people like this spot too. And it's a little discouraging for being 2 miles out from the parking lot. That was a pretty substantial hike that I just did, so. But sure is beautiful up here. I'm just gonna take a break while I'm up here. I forgot my water again, and like I said, that hike was pretty intense, so I just need to take a breather. What I'm thinking is that there's a lot more oaks up here and down that way versus down that way. It only worked to sit up here in the morning because as you know, the day gets warmer, the warm air is going to move up here, which means, you know, my scent will be hidden up here. If I came at night, there would be, you know, falling, and my scent would be carried down to where the deer are. So I think the morning is the only time to come up here. And what I'm thinking is that the deer will be moving from over there this way to get up to here to eat, go down there to eat, get some water. I don't think in any way that an evening hunt up here would work. So I guess I might come out here one morning next week, give it a try, but it's gonna be tough to make it up here based on just how hard it was to get up here in full daylight with no bow, no backpack, no camera gear other than my GoPro. So that's gonna be tough, but maybe during the weekday there won't be anyone here and, you know, some deer will come this way. All right, what I'm doing is just kind of thinking I can shoot this way, which I think is pretty decent. Maybe right here. I do have a tree right in front of me, which is not ideal, but got on either side of it, good lanes. And if I sit right here, I've got some good lines. I've got my silhouette broken up just a little bit, and then I can throw down my blind, my lay down blind right here, and that'll be good for in front of me. I decided to come a different way to leave. I went straight down the finger and it connected up with one of the trails that I took to get in that I thought was not going to be able to get me up the mountain. So now I know there's a good way to get down, a couple ways to get up, and I just have to kind of think about what my best option is for getting in there, because it is, I mean, a well-established trail to get up there. I'm thinking that, you know, deer are going to be kind of used to that. But then again, they are going to be cautious. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Should I bust through brush and take a really long way to get up there, about 3 times longer? Or should I go the quick route up on a well-established trail. That's all I've got for this video. This was just a nice short scouting video, and if you want to watch me hunt this piece of land, check back in with this channel. I will be doing that next week, so I'll be posting that video, and you want to see if I'm successful or not. So go ahead and click subscribe, share this with someone else who might enjoy it, like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.